Picture a quaint little town nestled between the hills, untouched by the hustle of the world outside. A haven of peace, where life moves with a leisurely pace. As the sun begins to set, a solitary crow takes flight, its black silhouette cutting through the orange hues of the sky. It soars above the rooftops, its caw echoing through the silence, an ominous harbinger of the doom to come. Unbeknownst to them, an unseen enemy was about to change their lives forever. Day breaks, and with it comes the first sign of the impending disaster. The sun had barely kissed the horizon when the local grocer, a jovial man known for his laughter and warm hospitality, was found in a state no one could quite comprehend. His once vibrant eyes, now dull and lifeless, stared into the nothingness. His skin, a sickly pallor, was cold to the touch. The man who had once been the life of the town was now a shell of his former self. Throughout the town, whispers of his condition spread like wildfire. People spoke in hushed tones, their words laced with a fear they couldn't quite put into words. The grocer had stopped eating, his once hearty appetite replaced with a strange aversion to food and drink. He was found in his home, surrounded by an inexplicable mess, a stark contrast to his usual tidy nature. The townsfolk tried to help, but their efforts were in vain. His condition worsened with each passing day, his strength slowly ebbing away. Confusion reigned. The town doctor, usually so confident, was left baffled by the grocer's inexplicable condition. No remedy seemed to work, no diagnosis fit. The once bustling town was now a place of fear and uncertainty. The laughter was replaced by silence, the warmth by a chilling dread. The grocer, the first victim of an unseen enemy, passed away, leaving behind a town steeped in fear. And thus, the first domino had fallen. As the sun set, the town was gripped by a fear more potent than the chilly night air. In the heart of the town, dread was spreading faster than the shadows at dusk. The disease, once confined to a single unsuspecting victim, was now a sinister specter haunting every home, every alley, every soul. It was as if the crow, with its dark and ominous presence, had cast an inescapable curse upon them all. It was a fear that was tangible, a chilling whisper on the wind that seemed to echo the crow's mournful caw. The disease was no longer a distant threat, it was in their midst, a silent predator hunting in the dimming light of their once peaceful town. People started falling ill, one by one. The symptoms were always the same: a refusal to eat or drink, a constant state of disarray, and an eerie silence that would ultimately give way to the final breath. It was a cruel, relentless cycle that saw no end. The townsfolk, once jovial and carefree, were now shrouded in despair and panic, their laughter replaced by hushed whispers and tearful goodbyes. The once bustling market square was now a ghost town, the lively chatter and barter of goods replaced by an oppressive silence that was only broken by the occasional gust of wind. Confusion reigned supreme as they grappled with the reality of their situation. Doctors were baffled, their medicines and knowledge powerless against the unseen enemy. Prayers were offered, and yet the heavens remained silent. The town was on the brink of chaos, its people desperate for answers, for salvation. But as the moon rose high in the starless sky, the town was left to its fate. The once thriving community was now a shadow of its former self, its people held captive by an enemy they could neither see nor understand. What started as a single incident had now become a town's nightmare. The quaint little town was just the beginning, the world was next. The crow's curse had broken free of its humble roots, and like a wildfire it swept across nations, continents, leaving no stone unturned. From the bustling metropolis to the secluded countryside, the disease found its way, creeping silently into homes, schools, and offices. The world as we knew it was in turmoil. As the days turned into weeks, the numbers began to stack up. Thousands, no millions, were now infected, their lives hanging by a thread. The once vibrant cities were now ghost towns, their streets echoing with haunting silence. The world was held hostage by an unseen enemy, and the grip was only tightening. Governments were in disarray, scrambling to find a solution, a cure. The brightest minds from every corner of the globe were summoned, their collective intellect put to the test. Labs were alight day and night, filled with the constant hum of machines and the frantic pace of those desperate to save humanity. Yet the answer remained elusive. Meanwhile, the death toll was on a relentless climb. Countless lives were lost, each one a story cut short, a life unlived. Families were torn apart, communities shattered, and the very fabric of society was fraying at the edges. The world was caught in a deadly dance with the crow's curse, and it was losing. In the midst of this chaos, hope was a scarce commodity. Yet it was this very hope that kept the world from spiraling into despair. It was hope that fueled the search for a cure, hope that held communities together, and hope that gave the dying a reason to fight, to cling on. The world was on the brink of an abyss, teetering over the edge. The crow's curse had brought humanity to its knees, yet in this darkest hour, the human spirit remained unbroken, fighting, hoping, and enduring. In the face of annihilation, humanity made its last stand. As the mysterious ailment spread by the crows continued to claim lives, the brightest minds of our world were thrust into a race against time. Scientists and doctors from every corner of the globe collaborated, their collective intellect the only weapon against a seemingly insurmountable adversary. The laboratories became their battlefields, the microscopes their rifles, and the petri dishes their trenches. From Tokyo to Toronto, from Delhi to Dublin, these brave warriors fought, their eyes red with exhaustion, their hands trembling yet unyielding. In the eerie silence of their workspaces they toiled, their efforts echoing the heartbeat of a dying world. They tested countless hypotheses, ran innumerable experiments, hoping to stumble upon that one miraculous cure. But with each passing day, their failures piled up like the bodies outside. The antidote remained elusive, a phantom dancing just beyond their reach. The world watched, breath held, as the doctors and scientists waged this war. The hope, once a blazing sun, began to dwindle, fading into a mere flicker. The despair was palpable, a heavy shroud that threatened to suffocate the last remnants of optimism. Yet these heroes did not falter. Their determination remained unbroken, their resolve unshaken. To surrender was not an option. They understood the gravity of their mission, the stakes for which they were playing. They were not just fighting for the present, but for the future, for the survival of our species. But as the days turned into weeks, and weeks into months, the question on everyone's lips grew louder, more persistent. Was there a light at the end of this dark tunnel? Was there hope for mankind? Or was all their effort in vain? The world held its breath, waiting, praying, hoping against hope. The human spirit, though battered, refused to break. It clung to the slim thread of hope, ready to fight till the very end. But was it too little, too late? In the end, the world was not as we knew it. The air is no longer filled with the hum of human activity. The world is quiet now, a silence so deep it's almost deafening. It's an eerie calm, a stillness that speaks volumes about the absence of humanity. The once bustling cities stand empty, their towering structures casting long shadows over the deserted streets. These concrete jungles, once teeming with life, are now ghost towns. The echoes of laughter, the hustle and bustle of daily life, the cacophonous symphony of humanity, all silenced. The world is now a vast, empty stage devoid of its main players. But not all life has been extinguished. The world in its resilience clings to what remains. The animal kingdom thrives, reclaiming territories once stolen by man. Forests, previously on the brink of extinction, now spread their roots far and wide, painting the world in shades of green. The air is cleaner, the water clearer, the earth richer. In the absence of man, nature flourishes. Animals roam freely, unencumbered by the constraints of human interference. The chirping of birds fills the silence, their songs echoing through the empty streets. Deer graze in what was once a bustling city square, while packs of wolves claim the deserted highways as their hunting grounds. The world is their playground now, a testament to the indomitable spirit of life. Trees, once confined to parks and forests, now grow unhindered. They break through the concrete, their roots reclaiming the earth. They stand tall, their leaves whispering stories of survival to the wind. In their shadows, a new world is taking shape, a world where nature is the undisputed ruler. In the end, the world was not as we knew it. But perhaps this is not the end. Perhaps it's a new beginning, a chance for the world to heal, to breathe, to start over. The human chapter may have ended, but the story of life continues. Is this the end or a new beginning? Only time will tell.